Hello and welcome back to The Read. I'm so excited to be here doing the Sagittarius read for today. What can we say about the lovely Sagittarius? One, they are adventurous people. If you need a travel buddy, call up a Sagittarius because they really about that life. They are such sweet individuals, and other than just being adventurous, they're usually like super optimistic. Going back to the adventurous part, I think their undying love of fun is part of that. And one thing about it, two things for sure, a Sagittarius is going to be honest with you. Sometimes honest to the point of bluntness. When, honesty hurts a little bit. Yeah, there might be a little bit of that in there. I have this one friend who's a Sagittarius, and whew, she says what she means and means what she says. I also have another friend, a romantic friend, that's a Sagittarius, and they are such a lovely, person. Unfortunately, they live in a land far, 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 far away across the ocean. So we've actually never met in person, but we've known each other for like the last 5 years, which is kind of like a crazy concept. They are a Sagittarius, but the way that they present is so different because they're like very calm, very even keeled, very introverted. So I think I would be interested to see what the rest of their natal chart holds. But again, one thing about that person, honest. And so caring, so loving. So it's so unfortunate they live so far away, or that I live so far away, or that we live so far away. Anyways, neither here nor there. Love ya, miss ya. Love ya and miss ya. Let's see what we have for the Sagittarius today. Not many things are transiting through Sagittarius today, but one thing is definitely transiting in Sagittarius is the Lilith. And the Lilith in astrology, well, before we get to astrology, if you look at Jewish kind of folklore, Lilith is to be the first wife of Adam. She supposedly left the Garden of Eden rather than submit to being controlled. And this is what makes her like an archetypal symbol of independence and kind of untamable wildness. And so that's where we get the Lilith in astrology. It represents your raw, the rawest shadow self, that deep-seated, primal, fierce autonomy. And of course, you would get the Queen of Wands. So before we continue shuffling, let's look at what we have here so far. You have the Ace of Swords. So remember I talked about that honesty? Yeah, I think you're being presented with an opportunity to be honest. I wonder if there is a person in your vicinity in which they need to hear the truth and you haven't told them the truth yet. I don't know why that's coming through. Excuse me. But that's what I'm getting. Again, Sagittarius, I've never known you to be afraid of telling the truth. So go ahead and tell that person what it is, if that's the case. We just pulled the the 9 of Cups. This read so far is not making much sense because you also have the 6 of Pentacles and you have the Queen of Wands. But something not making sense is very much Sagittarius. Is there a little chaos going on right now? Not chaos, but discord. What's this? Page of Swords. Didn't fall face up, so we're not going to take it. For some reason, I feel like the 9 of Cups goes right there. I don't think it goes in the journey. The Moon. Yep, I was right. There's a little chaos going on. Maybe chaos wasn't the right word. Maybe there is some type of illusion. Not everything is in the light. And it's so funny that we get the Moon card, because on the Moon card, once I finish this shuffle, I'll bring it up to the camera. We have 2 types. Well, we have technically 3 types of animals. But the 2 animals that I want to draw your attention to is the dog and the coyote. I used to live in Texas for a little bit, so it's not coyote, it's coyote. And wouldn't this be such a fitting card to get as Sagittarius, or as Lilith is in Sagittarius? And we just talked about how it represents that wild self. And you get the Moon card. Pew! Like, come on. There's this one book that I would suggest if you haven't read it. Women Who Run with Wolves. Oh, cool. That's cool. That's cool. Women Who Run with Wolves. If you haven't read it, you should definitely read it. It kind of goes into... Actually, I'm not going to say anything about it because I haven't read the whole book. But what I have read of it, I really do enjoy. That book, I actually took out one day. And when I say took out, I'm like, I literally went to the club. It was a lounge, but we'll call it the club. And I took it with me. What was I thinking? I don't know. And I left it on the DJ booth. I hope somebody took it and started reading it. I live such a random life. Yeah, none of this is making sense because, I mean, it's a great thing you have all the elements out, but child, what is going on here? Okay, let's just read what we have. You have the 6 of Pentacles as energy surrounding, as well as the Queen of Wands. I wonder if you're with this Ace of Swords and this new beginning with your communication, with your words, potentially with your knowledge, wisdom, and intellect. I wonder if that has something to do with the Queen of Wands, in which she takes her creativity and passions and uses that in this Ace of Swords as energy surrounding. Okay, so you walked away from something because you got the... Oh, you know what? I'm going to start leaving the cards where they drop. I'm going to start doing that. Not all the time, but sometimes where they drop, that didn't fall face up, so we're not going to take it, but we are going to look at it. Sometimes where they drop is more telling than anything. So you have the 8 of Cups, you also have the 9 of Cups, so you walked away from something and you gained it back almost tenfold. You weren't happy with the situation that you were in. Oh, Queen of Swords, there it goes. Okay, it's coming together now. It's coming together now. We got a story going. We got a story going. Oh, I just said that we're going to leave it where it drops. Let me get this card that fell over here. And it was the Empress. The Empress. So you walked away from something. It wasn't fulfilling you emotionally, but your decision to walk away, even though you were made to believe through the illusion of the moon, even though you were made to believe that this was the cup, that you should keep these cups, you saw through the illusion of the moon. You married your domesticated dog and your wild coyote, and you kept on moving forward in your journey, and you eventually hit your 9 of cups. Here is, I think the moon card was giving a little deception. I wonder if there was some deception, whether intentional or unintentional, to make you choose these 8 cups. But you, with your ultimate honesty, not only to other people, but your honesty to yourself, also, let's bring in the Lilith. You, with those primal instincts, you knew that these 8 cups were not it. Even through the deception, you knew that it was not it. Queen of Cups, there it goes. You knew it wasn't it, and you knew that you had the potential to gain more, to have better. And so you dropped those 8 cups and you said, you know what, honey? This ain't it, and it's never going to be it. So as you continue your journey, you left the 6 of Cups, you left the deception of the 7 of Swords, and you get into your 10 of Pentacles. How beautiful is that? Hangman, because you looked at it from a different perspective. You didn't let the moon deceive you. Not saying that the actual moon was deceiving you, but there was some type of force. Whether that was another individual, whether that was just the chaoticness, because there's a little chaos here, just a little bit, not much, but some. And you just didn't let it. You didn't let it. Kudos to you. And because you didn't let it, it led you to your 9 of Cups. It led you to your 10 of Pentacles. And as you continue along this journey, you have the Queen of Swords and you have the 9 of Wands. So again, I really love the Queen of Swords. She is... Ooh, here comes the honesty thing again. Let's cut the deck and see what's at the top and at the bottom. But it's almost as if she's... Look at her hand placement. Yep, look at her hand placement. It's almost as if she's telling the man in the 9 of Wands, lift up your head. Keep on going. Keep on persevering. And that's what it's asking you to do. You left these cups. I want you to know that if you have not reached your 9 of Cups, you will. But you have to persevere. You have to keep on going. You have to keep on moving. Once you do that, you not only reach the 9 of Cups, but you reach the Queen of Cups. Somebody who is emotionally mature, somebody who no longer allows the deception of the moon to rule their emotions. Notice that this cup is closed. All the other cups in the suit of cups are open. But the Queen has hers closed because she is double water. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is also ruled by Neptune, the Hangman. You have Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo out. You have all the signs out. You have Wands, you have Pentacles, you have Swords, and you have Cups. But the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands together, whenever I get two queens out, I always wonder if there's some type of maternal or matriarchal energy, maybe of a current loved one that's still on earth with us or one that has ascended. So take that if that resonates. But usually when I get the two queens on the surrounding energies, it always, I don't know, it always pulls me to this idea that there is a mother in heaven and a mother in earth. So you might have an earthly mother with the Queen of Wands, fire signs, or a heavenly one with the water signs, or vice versa. But either way, they are surrounding you. They are surrounding you and supporting you and there for you. I think to get out of this moon card energy, you had to be in the hangman position for a little while. So you might have been stalled or what felt like stalling, but that is all part of the dance of life as well. Maybe when you left those 8 cups, you had a moment of stillness before you got to the 9 of cups. Page of Cups, look at that. With the 7 of Cups at the bottom. Yeah. You actually have 3 queens out here. I forgot. You also have the Queen of Swords. There is something very matriarchal, very feminine that's going on here. I wonder if I'm reading for a woman right now, or if I'm reading for somebody who has strong women in their lives, whether they're here on earth or ascended. How did that happen? Whoa. Or maybe this was already flipped. Let's not creep ourselves out. Okay, just had to make sure that the 7 of Cups is still on the bottom. So you have the 6, 7, 6, 7, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, Page of Cups, Temperance, the Sun. Yep. Sagittarius. Good read. Remember, don't forget that you have this, whether it's within you, within your divine feminine, or an external maternal force or feminine force, asking you to